Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Podnutz Pro, where tonight it is going to be a no-tech show. Tonight, this will not be the podcast that brings you product stories and tips to help you run your business. We're just going to hang out and have a little open house party, and I'm joined by several of my good friends here, and I'm going to be bringing them in as we continue with the music. First up, our friend, Golden Boy, Jason Miller. Jason, how are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain for, what is this, Wednesday? Yeah.
Wednesday, the last day of March.
Yeah. April Fool's tomorrow.
Yeah, it sure is. Also joining us, Mr. Keith Rosa. Keith, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Marvin Bee. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All right, you ready to potty?
I'm ready to potty.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Podnutz Pro party without the man, the myth, Mr. Matt Money Rainey. How are you, sir?
Good. How y'all doing?
Wow.
I made it.
You got bourbon? Got the bourbon. All right.
Of course.
Okay, and we did have one other person join us back in the green room. Let me bring him out from the great state of Iowa, Mr. Adam Carpenter. Adam, how are you?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Nice to have you, Adam.
Yeah. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, been a while.
I see
All
Matt's already
right.
pouring his drink.
Yeah, I need it.
All right, let me change the view here. We'll get us all a little bit bigger. Hide some of the clutter behind us all. Guys, how are we all doing this evening?
Tired.
Tired.
I am tired too. My plan was to go lay down on the chair and watch Kong versus Godzilla and fall asleep to it, but then I got your email.
That was your Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, or Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know the order, but...
Okay, but is that the latest movie?
Yes, released today.
Oh, streaming, right?
Yeah, HBO Max. That's right.
All right. They're doing that with all the movies now, aren't they?
Quite a few. That's why I watched Wonder Woman 1984 and the Snyder cut of Justice League, which was very long, by the way. Over
Really?
4 hours.
Wow.
Well, I probably won't be watching those anytime soon.
Do you have HBO Max?
Yes.
Well, there you go. You got to watch it. It's free.
Okay, listen, I haven't even watched the rest of Picard. I haven't watched Star Trek Discovery. I just finished watching those damn Star Wars movies.
Well, I can see where your priorities are. Picard, there's only one season that ended like 6, 7, 8 months ago.
They're promoting it now as if I thought there was more.
No, the second season hasn't come out yet.
Oh.
Who else watched it? Anybody else watch Star Trek? Any other Star Trek fans here?
Yeah, I have. What?
You watched them all? You watched Picard, Discovery, Jason?
I don't have time to keep up with all that stuff. I have 2 kids that play baseball and
I've
soccer.
got 2
and-
kids too.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
Dan, 2
Excuses.
kids.
I sound like my employees now, but anyways.
No. Well, right now it's the the March Madness, so everything's on hold.
I don't
till
watch
that's
that.
over. I watched it until what time? Sunday till we lost. Florida State lost to Michigan.
Marvin's been too busy working on his pool.
Yeah.
I was telling Jason earlier, it's not that I'm doing the work. We're paying people to do the work, but I've got to go home every few hours to, inspect and pull out the credit card and that sort of stuff.
Really, they require payment every few hours. That's an interesting setup there.
Yeah, every time they got to run to Floor and Decor. Now that we added tile floors, we added paint. Actually, paint was Lowe's.
I think I might like that business model.
Yeah.
How do we do that in IT? That's what I need to figure out.
Well, it was cheaper for us to get it rather than to have the contractors, get it.
Really, because usually the contractors get a better price, the contractor's price.
You know what I
Well,
find
it's a
out?
better
is-
price for them, not for Marvin.
Yeah.
they all go to the same place.
Yeah.
So
You sound like our worst customer now.
that's why you shop where the users don't shop. You don't send them to Amazon to get your computers, right?
No,
Oh, you don't? Oh,
no, you sell it to them.
I send them to eBay. Craigslist. So is all your work done at your house now?
No. No. They just finished the floors and the paint in the 2 bedrooms. So the one guest bedroom and the 1 bedroom / office, they just finished those today. So we pulled up the carpet, new tile floor, paint, new baseboards, everything. The pool, which was started first, is probably going to be the last to be done. They came out and checked. The cement is still too wet for them to put the top layer on, which they're going to do another layer of concrete and then they're going to stamp it. And of course, the wife hasn't picked her pattern yet either. So that's going to be a whole.
Oh, you let
ordeal.
her do that? That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Now, Marvin, how did you find these contractors?
So this particular contractor was actually doing work across the street. And he had been there 2 or 3 times. And we've had his name for a couple of years now. But as the wife would tell you, I'm the one that's been dragging the feet because, I didn't want to pay. So finally, she convinced me that we have to do something. And really, this all started with finishing the pavers.
Somehow it went inside.
They sold you the add-ons, huh? They upsold you.
The wife sold me on the add-ons. Sue had to do the pavers. And then, of course, if you're going to do the pavers, we got to do the fence.
Yep, I completely understand that.
Since they do the pool too, why don't we ask them about that? And he gave us such a great deal. Can't pass it up.
Obviously, you got multiple bids to make sure it was a great deal.
I tried. I tried.
Or did he just say, this is a great deal?
No, we knew what some of it was going to cost. The pool probably came in at half the original estimate that we got a couple of years ago. So,
Well, Carrie and I did the same thing recently, that she wanted to replace the area rug in the living room floor, and from that we wound up with a whole new living room. But although that actually was on me because she wanted to replace just the rug, and I said, well, that couch, we don't really like it to begin with, and it's time for a new one anyway. And if we get a new rug, of course you want the rug to match the furniture, and then we're going to get the rug to match the furniture that we're going to get rid of, and then that's not going to. So we did do the whole thing.
Yep.
That's why I don't fall for that. My wife tells me, we need a new rug. No, we don't. Nope.
She just floods the house until she gets the new stuff anyway.
Yeah, well, hopefully that doesn't happen too often.
Because it was kind of a hodgepodge is what we had, where the couch that we just got rid of was a replacement for a POS one that we had for a long time that needs to be replaced. We had Carrie found that on Craigslist for like $100 that was sitting in someone's formal living room that they never actually used. It's like grandma's old couch that had been there for 20 years, but no one ever sat on it. So we definitely got our $100 worth out of it for the past several years. So I had no qualms about, replacing that couch. But I do need to mute myself here. I do need to take that call. I'm sorry. That's work.
I was going to say, is that the wife correcting you?
No, that's work. Hang on.
Hey, Jason, we have somebody in the chat who has asked, how is the new house coming along?
Well, we're almost there. End of April, it should be done, hopefully. Putting on the finishing touches of the paint and some little knickknacks and the yard. They're trying to dump down the 15 dump truck loads of dirt in the yard and smooth it out everywhere. So need some grass and landscaping. But the good news is I got my gig by gig fiber install scheduled for the 19th. That's all I care about, you know. So I have to have good internet, you know. My wife's like,
we don't care about a yard. Just give me that internet.
No. So my wife's like, you know, I'm getting a new house. You're getting a new network. And I said, yeah. So, you know, have to put in all the, you know, new wireless Wi-Fi 6 access point per floor, new high-end Ubiquity routers and switches and 10, you know, Cat 6A through the house. So I'm like all like, you know, geeked out. My wife's like, hey, I want to pick out this couch. I'm like, that's awesome.
So that's a good deal. What you say is, okay, I'll make sure the internet's always up. You make sure the house is always cleaned and taken care of. So, because you got the house, I got the network.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it doesn't quite work that way.
Until she floods the house, right?
Oh no, that better not happen in the new house. That's going to be a problem. So, yeah, no, you know, you talk about like the rug and then the whole new living room and you with the pool and stuff. Well, my wife, we had COVID and ends with the new house. You know, that's what happens when people sit at home, they're bored. She looks for houses. So I told her I was never moving, but here we are.
How far is it far from one house to the other, like time-wise?
6-7 minutes. Okay. I mean, we live in a community called Gray, Tennessee, and it's like literally one side to the other side of Gray. It's not far. So it's pretty close.
So it's 2 shades of gray?
Nowhere near 50, but yeah, no, not 2 shades.
Oh, man.
I'm not moving again unless it's out of the state. That's for sure.
I said that too, but here I am.
Hey, Florida's wide open. You got to moving down.
Well, I'll be in Florida in about 6 weeks, but not in your area.
Oh. Yeah. So I just need somebody to run the business. And I can move to Florida and be a Florida man at that point, right? So that's kind of what
Mike Smith's doing it from 2 locations. I think you can too.
Probably could. Yeah. We just all join together. We'll make one big company. We'll just help each other out.
See, I can move. That's why I work from home. I'm getting everybody used to me not being there. So I can really go anywhere at this point.
Well, I'd say 80% of my job I could do from home, but I still do mainly
the rest of the 20. And the rest of the 20, that's Zoom. You delegate, you Zoom.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Of course, you're not going anywhere because you just got a new house. So
yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
That was a quick call.
Well, I try to keep it quick. It was work. They were having, ironically, computer issues at work where the systems were down, kind of company wide.
Did you get them back up?
Oh no, that's not my job. that's not my job.
His job is just comforting. I understand you're down. It'll be okay.
Yeah, that is well beyond my scope. 3,500 stores is not me.
You turn it off and back on again. That's how quick that call was. I mean, come on.
Oh my!
I was calling someplace. I booked a vacation and I bought the insurance. But I canceled that trip and anyway. I had to call the insurance place, and when I called Monday, I just got a message over and over again that they were closed. Closed. I tried like different times of day. We're closed. Finally got through them the next day. And I said, are y'all closed on Mondays? Oh, no, but our systems were down. It was just easier to put a message saying we're closed. Okay. Nice. Thank you.
No, I actually had my guy, our systems were down, and we went back to our old handwritten tickets to record what people bought and computations of purchases and so on. So, no, we're not going to close over something like that.
Well, they did. Or at least they said they were closed. They weren't taking any calls.
Oh, my. Adam, how's life in the America's Heartland?
Well, for us, really well. We got 2 big projects going on right now. We just got our largest client, which is 125 users. We're doing co-managed with them, so they do have a tech on site as well. It will be more of an escalation, so I'm watching copy files to their new server. And then we got another client with 3 locations. So we're going to get them set up with their first server rather than a workstation. They're going to be doing some remote desktop stuff. So good stuff.
Nice.
Awesome. Co-managed. That's fun.
It'll be a first for us.
Yeah, our largest client has a co-managed. They hired a IT guy. Like we were the only IT company or guys handling all their stuff, and then they put out like a total system admin job description, and it's like you were like the server guy, the network guy, the everything. High end, need college, need this, need experience.
Right.
And I was like, so I asked him. I said, "Are you replacing us, or are you going to keep us?" No. That's we just need a helper. I said, you do know that's like $80,000-$90,000 job description, right? Anyways, they ended up hiring this guy, and great guy. Don't get me wrong, he's great. But it's just been a little bit of a battle here and there, internally with them and internally, with us too, trying to figure out who is in charge.
Yeah,
is the problem. It's like, are we in charge that we are doing the main IT and the higher ups and stuff, or is the person there in charge? And it's kind of a constant battle of these cheap Chinese switches got purchased and put in all over the place. And so I sent an email about like, we can't do that. We just replaced all your switches with managed switches. We have VLANs. You can't buy $14 PoE switches off of Amazon. It's just a constant battle. So it's I don't know. It's a good challenge. Yeah. And I know Marv knows all about this, right?
Oh,
with your juniors. Your juniors.
Yeah. So ours is a little different. We've been talking to this company for like 3 years, and so they changed providers 3 years ago because the MSP they were with wanted to put them in a box and they wanted to do things a little bit differently, but it wasn't a good fit at the time. So we have a good relationship with them, and the person they brought on really is a desktop tech, so there really isn't any high level stuff that they're going to handle. So far it's good. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the guy they brought on at our place too, I think is more of a desktop tech, but we keep getting security services turned off in our Sonic wall and servers rebooting at weird times. So it's fun, but it's like we're the contractors. How are we supposed to like complain majorly about this?
Right.
It's like it's a fine line. Maybe Marv has some good help with this situation.
I don't know. I can tell you this. So I don't know if I told the story about. I mean, I know I've told the story of the juniors, but the one client that has the most stories, their junior left right before COVID hit. And they decided, well, since people aren't going to be working in the office, we'll be working remote, we just won't hire anybody. So they went for almost a year without an in-house person. The administrator was doing as much as they could before they called me, which seemed to work okay for a while. But then, of course, he got busy and couldn't do it all. So we decided he would hire another MSP to handle the desktop stuff, and I would be in charge of the server and the networks.
Oh, boy.
How's that work?
Well, it took us a month to actually come to an agreement because I said, well, if that's the case, we're going to have to sign this little thing called an agreement. And we need a waiver so that if anybody does anything, you won't hold me responsible. So we had to I had to upgrade, all the software I had for monitoring who logged in and who had admin rights and all that stuff, group policy change. I mean, I did it all. And so they were hired. They were actually hired in October before they told me that they hired them. And then about it at like the end of November, he's like, well, we're thinking about doing this. I said, well, and finally he's just like, well, we already did it. I said, so you need to give them admin rights. And I said, okay, well, before we do that, you're going to sign some paperwork. So that's when that happened. So today is their last day. Apparently they said it's not working out and it's going to be back to just us and manager until they decide if they want to hire somebody or if they want to pay me more money and I can provide the additional desktop support, which is what I've been trying to do for them for years.
Were you not doing that prior to? You were doing all along, you were doing just the server?
Well, I was doing some of the desktop stuff, but they had an in-house person that was taking care of a lot of it. And so when they didn't want to hire that person, and I said, well, I can cover with desktop people. I can have a tech come in, a couple of times a week. We can get a help desk together. I've already got 4 subcontractors working on their stuff as it is. So I said, we can just up the amount of work that they do. But the problem is they didn't want to pay us more money.
But they want to pay somebody else.
They were fine to pay somebody else.
Probably more than what it would have cost.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the old expression, penny wise, dollar foolish.
Yep, it is. So they just wasted 6 months with this other company because they really didn't do anything. This was all right. I don't know if they're listening or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. So the company came in and put on their agent, and the first 2 locations were fine. They've got 7 locations. The third location, I noticed that my endpoints started being uninstalled. So of course I called the office and said, is somebody there? And blah, blah, blah. And they said, yes. So I got on the phone with the tech and I said, you're not supposed to uninstall our stuff. And he goes, oh, I'm just so used to doing that. Well, whatever he was installing, apparently it was taking like 15 to 20 minutes to install. So when I said to him, I'm going to send you this file and these workstations, get me connected. And of course I'm using, SolarWinds, and it's lightweight. It's not like it's, ConnectWise or whatever. So it was installing in 5 minutes or so. And he's like, wow, that's fast. He's like, we should use what you use. I was like, dude, you're not supposed to say that.
You don't know what he was using?
Yeah, I know what they were using.
Oh, you don't want to say that.
But here's the thing. They were pitching, I think it was $37 per endpoint. And all they were doing was remote access. They were supposed to put on an AV and web protection, and they didn't do that. And they said, oh, well, no, we didn't install that. So I said, so you're still going to want me to do that? I said, and you want me to watch this other company. So I'm going to end up charging you more because I'm still doing all the same stuff we were doing before. Because I said, if I get an alert, am I supposed to forward it to them? And they're like, yeah. And if they get an issue on servers, they'll send it to you.
So the second company was installing just remote access software so they could then do everything a la carte?
That's what it sounded like.
Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't want to deal with a user making a connection.
So,
well, yeah, I mean, I get that, of course, but
$37?
Yeah, $37 just to be able to remote in per station. I'll take that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they were happy to be told we don't need you anymore. It was an easy deal. So I'm going to charge them $35 additional.
Still less. There you go.
Still saving you money.
Yeah. Way to go.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question. I know Jason has employees. I'm not sure. I know Marvin has in the past. I'm not sure if Adam and Matt do or have, but what do you do to make sure your staff, your employees feel appreciated?
So it's just me.
Give him a paycheck. No.
Yeah. Well, we do birthday lunches every month, so we have a big catered in meal. We all sit down in our big middle room and eat together, stuff like that. We have a very laid back environment, so I'm not going to say there's been Nerf guns in our office, but there's been Nerf guns in our office. We've had pulling pranks on each other all the time, stuff like that. I mean, my motto to people is we're all adults. We have a job to do. Get the job done. We have ticket counts we want to maintain. We have SolarWinds checks we want to maintain, stuff like that. But we're pretty lax. I mean, people have YouTube up on their computers, not watching YouTube, but more listening to music. And, they can take a break, do whatever they want. We have an arcade game machine in our back room. So some people's like, oh my gosh, it's too lax or whatever. But if it becomes a problem, we have a talk, so it's not been a big problem in the past. Every once in a while, you kind of have to steer people back to the, put them between the rails on the road and get them back there. But I mean, for the most part, it's been pretty straightforward. People are pretty much on task. Efficiency's still good. So we make them feel appreciated because we're always trying to, have a good laid back atmosphere. We're not corporate, highly stressful, environment, just cracking the whip on our help desk people or anything like that. And two, I think one of the things we really do is our help desk people, we kind of eliminated tiers. I think that's helped out a lot. In the beginning, we kind of did tiers, but then we kind of started like, that's not working. So we have 5 help desk people and the tiers went away and it's gotten a lot better. And they feel like they're more part of a team because with the help desk, they come in, if they don't know how to do something in Office 365 or on a server, and they have limits, don't get me wrong, they have limits. They'll grab our Office 365 guy, they'll grab our server guy, and hey, let me show you how to fix this backup, or let me show you how to do this. I mean, they're not doing full server admin stuff, don't get me wrong, but stuff they don't know how to do, they kind of teach them, and those people move up into field techs eventually because they know that stuff now. That's kind of what we do. Not saying that's a good fit for everybody, but I like the laid back atmosphere. It's easy to get along with people. So,
yeah, we're pretty much the same way. Pretty laid back. Let them have a lot of freedom as long as they're getting their work done. We don't really hound them if they want to come in late or if they need to leave early. If they're getting their work done and responding to tickets, that's good enough. We do a crawfish boil usually a few times a year. Usually one in the spring, one in the fall. Big Christmas party that we have. And, before COVID, we had something for somebody's birthday. If it was your birthday, we did something. But we've only got, besides the partners, 5 employees. So we're not that big. But we did that kind of stuff too. And we have a big break room in the back. It's got pool table. It's got arcade game system. But that stuff never gets used. Maybe if we have a party, it gets used, but for the most part, they don't even go back there unless they're eating lunch back there or something.
Yeah. Our arcade game was used a lot in the beginning, but brought it in as new shiny. But then now,
like everything else, like the kids wanting the trampoline. I say no. I can rent one for the weekend and you'll be probably done.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you, Keith, I think one of the things I've realized is the more employees you get, the easier it is, because I had 2 full-time techs and a part-time admin, and it was hard because you got to kind of cater what you do for appreciation to each person, and as you add more people, you can kind of standardize what you do and that sort of thing. So,
well, that helps. Sometimes we'll throw a bonus their way. Sometimes we go on vacation and somebody saves the day and server went down, fixed it, whatever. We'll throw an extra little bonus, or if there's a big project, of course, we're getting paid a lot of money. We'll throw an extra, they'll work after hours on the weekend, something, throw a little extra money at them, stuff like that. That helps out a little bit too. And, just the relaxed atmosphere, like I said.
If you use Teams, you can give them praise inside of Teams.
We use Teams. We've never done that.
It's funny. We do it. They'll just get a praise with some kind of good job or medal or something. It's pretty funny. Well, one of my guys actually says, "Oh, you should give me praise because I did this ticket." So now I give him praise all the time for stupid things.
So speaking of praise, we're going to start some music here because we have somebody else joining. So it's not the true Florida Georgia line, but it's the karaoke version of Mr. Mike Wise.
Hey, did somebody say praise for stupid things? Here I am. I'm just right on time.
Oh, goodness.
Mr. Wise.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry I'm late, but let's start over.
Sure.
All right. So Mike, the only thing that you missed was I asked the question of how do you show your team or your employees that they are appreciated?
You guys have employees.
Right. No. Well, No, well, I at PC Medics I don't. I'm still the one man show, but at work, I do. So that's apparently that's a challenge for me as it's been brought to my attention. So I'm trying to explore what else I can do beyond what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Well, I missed all that, and I have nothing to add. You guys spent 30 minutes on that.
You did. That's how important a topic it is for me.
Aren't you glad you were late?
Yeah, you missed the music and the party, and
let's wrap it up.
All right. Thank you very much for coming, everybody.
All right.
I could do the reverse. Like my daughter, I only tell her good job if she gets all A's, and she gets a B. I say, well, you could do better. I guess I could do that to my employees too. You did a ticket, but it took you an hour. Come on.
Well, I think in Keith's situation, that may be different if it's you can't control the environment and how things go at work if you're not.
No, because I'm corporate.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I always try and take the time to tell somebody, and it's hard for me to remember sometimes. But if somebody does an awesome job at something, I was like, oh man, I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate you doing that. And you just kind of verbal stuff here and there. I mean, I don't always remember, but I try and thank them for what they've done, make them sort of feel appreciated. I mean,
it's
I do
amazing
care,
how
but
far.
Sometimes you don't remember.
Yeah, it's amazing how far a thank you will go every now and then. It's pretty
and
odd.
Donuts in the morning. Look, you bring donuts to your guys in the morning or food. They love any free food.
Is that what you tell your employees to do for you?
They know. No.
It was in the handbook when it's
in the manual.
Here.
The manual.
Hey, I was running 4 hours late, but I brought you lunch.
Yeah. I mean, back when we were all going to the office, we would do that pretty frequently. But now you never know who's going to be there, so we don't do that as much. But employees, I mean, everybody loves free food. I mean, that's a good motivator.
Yeah, we have a rule that if you're late, you're not late if you bring breakfast. So as soon as somebody's like, I'll be there in a few minutes.
You would not have wanted me working for you when I was younger. I show up at 11. Hey, I brought a McMuffin.
No, they can't be that late. Come on. That's about 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. So
I brought one. I had two, but I ate one. Y'all can split this one.
Yeah. And there's a couple bites missing. Yeah, I discovered that I had an amazing work ethic, but not until I left corporate America. And it wasn't until doing my own business that I discovered my amazing work ethic. I think I was.
Didn't work. You didn't get paid. Is that what you're saying?
I think I was a poor employee.
Oh my. So, Mike, Mr. Webinar this afternoon on backups.
Oh, the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I missed that. I wanted to see that.
Oh, yeah. It's probably out there somewhere. It's through my BNI chapter. There's Danny Colella Live specializes in doing this for businesses. And in my BNI chapter, he offered each of us to do one with him. And he is really, really good at what he does. He can even get a goof like me to seem serious, like a real feature. So if you haven't seen it, see it for Danny. I got to say that right now. If you're interested in getting into Facebook Live, and
we play it right now. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think that whole topic about backup came out of like a BNI conversation about what is it about your industry? What's a misconception about your industry? That's a popular misconception. And I could think of a lot, but the one I get a lot is, well, first of all, if you're in IT, you're a smug jerk, right? But that's well, I guess some of us are, but I say when it comes to backup, you know the types, where it's like, oh, I went to the big box store, I got the external hard drive, and I'm saving my stuff there, so that's my backup. That kind of misconception, or that syncing services are comprehensive. And so this was talking more about how syncing services are really effective for what they're designed for, but they do have their shortcomings. And it is trying to be a universal message, not just to my small, medium business target, but really to everyone, standing up for the folks that have computer problems. And it was just like a 20-minute Facebook Live. It was fun.
So my client that has 4 USB drives attached to their server for backup isn't really going to work.
Your client, it'll work fine.
Yeah, that's one of my referrals I just got. So we're moving them off the USB drives.
And of course, those USB drives were plugged in 24/7.
Of course.
And nobody's checking them.
And then I found out that one of them, actually 2 of them, I should say. So they named them archive, but then they mapped them out as regular drives.
Yeah, exactly.
So that people can go back and access them.
Yeah. Yeah. Those kind of misconceptions, confusion.
So I said, so what happens if the building burns down?
We hope it doesn't.
Oh,
we've got bigger problems.
Does that mean we're not safe? Why don't you get that up to the cloud and take care of you? Okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite answer when I'd ask stuff like that. Well, what happens if? And they go, well, then we got bigger problems then.
That's true. What happens if it's like call 911?
Yeah.
Don't call me. It's
people-
too late.
People think this backup is magical stuff. I mean, this guy called today and we had to restore one file, this one Word doc, and he thought he was bothering us and it's a big ordeal and he's in big trouble. And it's like, click, click, click. Okay, give it 2 seconds. There's the file. It's like, oh my gosh, you saved my day. It's like, yeah, if you have the right backups, it's not a big deal. But I don't understand why people do this all the time. They don't have good backups.
Oh, you have good clients. You have good. I restored. It was when I was running Datto for a client, and it was backing up every hour. So I backed up her file, and she's like, "Oh, well, this is like 45 minutes ago." I'm like, "You got it." And she's like, "Do you have something more recent?"
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Yeah, the one you deleted.
Right.
Yeah. But
hey, Rainey, you're going to like this. So I do have a client that got sent a security assessment that they have to do.
They don't have to do it.
And
by who? By Microsoft?
No, by one of their clients.
Oh.
And one of the questions, they have a whole section on backup, and one of them is, are your backups regularly tested on a monthly basis?
If they didn't have the monthly basis, you could just say yes.
Every time a user deletes something.
That's
yes.
right.
It's a periodic test.
I test it once every 10 years, and we're coming up on the first test here in a couple years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll test it when you need a file.
Well, somebody called me today and they said they're having trouble with their backup, and this is a new client. So I called her. I said, "What's happening?" Well, my Synology is beeping. I said, "Okay, so you're using Synology for your backup target?" No, our data's on the Synology. I said, "So what's the problem with the backup?"
We don't have one.
And she's like, well, "No, it's beeping." Wait. You're saying backup, but the Synology is beeping. Yes. And your live data is on the Synology. Yes. Do you have that data somewhere else? No. I said, okay, so you don't have a problem with your backup. You have no backup. Your problem is your Synology is beeping. She was like, I guess. So I had a failed drive. I said, if the other drive fails, you lost all your data. Because this is not a backup. A backup is, if someone comes in here and steals the Synology, you restore your backup. Where's your backup? Oh, I don't have one of those. Yeah, well, that's a problem.
It's called RAID.
Yeah, which is 50% down at this point.
They're gonna break the RAID in a mirror, and they're gonna leave you one drive, and they're gonna steal the rest of it. That's very considerate of them. Mm-hmm. A tech-savvy thief who's also polite.
Oh, great. Those security assessments suck. I have this one customer that does work for big name companies all the time, and was recently doing one for a big nationwide financial company, and oh my gosh, I mean, they're insane, the amount of stuff. We had to set up TLS send connectors between the two email servers to set that up. Not a big deal. They want screenshots of password policies, screenshots of this. And we set up this Azure server for them like, I don't know, October last year. And then they pulled the plug on it because they didn't like the way we set it up. They're like, well, we're connecting with this with VPN. Well, yeah, it's RDS. We're going to remote in. All your data is going to exist there, so you can start passing these surveys and or security assessments. And they pulled the plug on it like November. Got it all set up, ready to go. And they didn't like the icon on the desktop, like when you log in.
Wait. And they didn't like the icon, how it looked?
Yeah, I am not kidding. They did not like the icon. We started the training and the meeting before, like we went like with the management and stuff before we decided to go, live with it. And the first thing was, I don't like the icon, how it looks. It looks so 1990s. And we are an advertising firm, and they do advertising for kids, and it's everything they do is amazing looking. Don't get me wrong. So they're used to this really cool looking stuff. And I mean, they've done this for big shoe companies and big, little blocks you put together companies and all this other stuff.
Like Nike big?
Yes, Nike, exactly. So Lego, Hasbro, I mean, all these big companies. So they do this stuff for these companies, and it's a cool company, cool things they do. But the icon, it's like we started training and they got stuck on the icon. In this hour and a half long training, it was about the icon. We couldn't move forward. So they pulled the plug on the server. Well, now we're doing this for this big financial company. They got this survey and they're like, well, they're wanting to know how our VPN works. It doesn't. We're not using it. And he's been filling out these surveys like it's all set up. And then today I get an email. It's like, if we decide to go live today, how long will it take you to do this? 3 to 4 weeks. You can't have that on tomorrow? No. You've got 40 computers. I've got to get everybody's data moved and transferred over and connected up and joint domains. I mean,
tell them, first of all, you got to get your icon design team on the
That's right.
Yeah.
After the icon is established, you can then move forward.
It was so bad that I had one of my guys, and he's half programmer. So he was digging into Windows, trying his best to figure out where that icon was, but it's so ingrained in Windows, it's probably inside the exe. I don't know where it's at, but it's not an icon file anywhere we could find. Anyways, it was a nightmare. I mean, we were trying to change this icon in Windows just to make them happy. But I mean, it's insane. These security assessments, they get you off the deep end.
Just change it to the edge icon and just say it's web-based.
Oh, trust me, we tried to change icons. It will not let you change icons. So. It's literally at the login screen of Windows. Like when you log into Windows, it's this big icon. We cannot change it. So, but yeah, I mean, but the security assessments, they're getting harder and harder. I don't know if anybody's been doing a lot of them, but I've probably done 20 this year, and it's insane.
Wow. Are these assessments forced on your clients, or your clients asking for them?
Mine are forced.
Yeah, I have a couple to do that every year that are forced.
Yeah, I had one law firm actually lost 31 files because they didn't do theirs. So now they're doing them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, with these security assessments, if they don't do them, they don't get the contracts with these big companies. And their contracts are worth lots of money. So, but this company is so spread out, it's hard to have all these. I don't know if you've ran into it, but the security assessments, it's like they want all your firewall information and all this stuff. Like you're this big corporate company, and most of our companies, not a big deal, qualify for this. But this company is literally work from home company. There's like 40 employees. They're in New York, California, Europe, Australia. I mean, they're all over the place. But they don't have a corporate environment because they use Google Drive and SharePoint. So now they're kind of being forced. There's no firewall. It's like we need to do a pen test of your firewall.
The firewall.
The Orbi home router.
Where would the firewall go?
Yeah, I mean, or it's like we got 40 different people's houses. Which one do you want to test? I mean, it's like I don't know how to answer
that firewall below the windshield
and just say this is their firewall. Test this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you're just going to start leasing extra internet connections in your office with firewalls sitting there. Go ahead and test it.
Plug our backup internet into it. Here's the IP address. Try it out.
That's right.
Got the spare Sonic wall hooked up. Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost at that point. It's like I keep telling this guy, it's like I don't want to lie on this stuff. I don't know how to answer it though. So they end up hiring this other consultant that does cybersecurity stuff, and he doesn't do MSP or anything, but he's helping them out with that. Thank you. So,
Yeah, the two that I have to do are very easy. So it takes me 10 minutes because I already have screenshots from last year. I just update the screenshot and I'm done. I wouldn't want one like that.
Just to fill out the last one I did, to give you an idea, it was 3 hours. It was online based, 3 hours. There's 72 tabs with probably 40 plus questions on every tab. Wow. I mean, it was insane. I mean, I don't know where they get this stuff from. They make it up, I believe.
So I had to do that as a subcontractor for somebody I'm working for. I don't even do anything on their network. And when I show up to work, I don't have a login. I never do anything. You know, anytime I have to do anything, I have to call somebody else to do it. And I'm just on the phone, either moving cables, moving desktops or whatever. So every year I got to fill this out, and every year it gets longer and longer. And the lady at the office, she just says, just bill us for how long it takes you to fill out the survey. So I'm like, all right. And like you said, it's 100 and something questions. And I'm just looking for it now so I can tell you what some of the questions
that's what
are.
I was thinking when Jason was saying it took him like 3 or 4 hours, 70 tabs, 40 questions. Like, as long as it's all billable.
Oh, it's definitely billable.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's annoying.
I mean, I'm sure it gets tedious and gets mundane, but as long as it's billable.
Yeah. Here's my last one. So it's 40 pages. And it is 212 questions. And the last question is, does your firm have a defined personal data breach response plan that includes notification obligations? I'm like, this isn't my client.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Of course we do. Yes.
Yeah, right.
As far as I know.
Yeah, sure.
Does your firm store or process the client's personal data outside the European Economic Area? If so, are adequate safeguards in place, e.g. standard contract clauses, binding corporate rules, or agreements such as EU-EUS Privacy Shield? No.
Right. Jeez. Well, that was an easy question. What's a hard one?
When was the last DR/BCP test? It's not my client. I don't know.
Well, I just went in and shut the power off today.
Yeah.
Hey, Marvin, is there a way in this StreamYard to chat with, or as I'm looking to the right side of my screen, I see the private chat, which was obviously us, right? The 6 of us.
You as a
comments.
Yeah, you as a member cannot.
Okay.
That's the one shortcoming with StreamYard, that I can reply to them. So like I can say,
so even if you log in or sign up.
Hey, Rachel, what you would have to do is do a separate window and mute the audio.
You have to log in and a separate window.
Well, here's the thing.
You're talking about Facebook window?
Yeah, there might be, I've never had anybody authenticate. Maybe you can authenticate, but that would be a requirement that I'd have to do for everybody. You can authenticate with YouTube or Facebook. But the reason they do that is that gives me the ability to ban guests from the studio.
Oh, hang on. Jason just threw a comment in there. How the hell did you do that?
On Facebook.
He's got the little F on there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Okay. Yeah, that's too much.
Another window. I guess I'm supposed to have more than one monitor.
I do.
Don't you have 3 at home, Rainey?
It only comes with so many clicks. I can't be clicking Facebook.
So someone told me the other day that they like to listen to Spotify while they're working, in their web browser. But it's annoying because they have to keep closing it to research their other stuff. Like, you can do new other tabs and other windows, right? What do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay,
So
wait.
they
How
would
about
go
that?
off the page, do what they do, go back to Spotify. Like, no. I know this person is a unitasker pretty much, so but the application can do more than one thing at a time.
See, I'm on the other
Blown
end of
away.
that scope. I got so many tabs open. I'm not sure where things are anymore.
Yeah, the
So-
rest of the world is on the other side.
So, Rainey, your user didn't go into Spotify and download the Spotify app?
They wouldn't know how to do that. Hey, I didn't want to. No, they wouldn't know how to do that. They don't know how. I'm surprised that person could even find Spotify.com if that's what it is.
All right, so to show you how savvy I am with Facebook, I said, all right, let me find this thing where I can comment or respond to the comments, right? So I go to Marvin Bee, because that's who's here, right? That's who's in charge of this, Marvin Bee. I start scrolling through his whatever the heck you call that, your stream, your whatever it's timeline. I don't know. I don't do Facebook. I do, but I don't, and I can't find anything. So then I realized I got to go to Podnutz Pro. But in the process of looking at Marvin's timeline, right? Is that what it's called? Timeline. I saw your bingo card for furniture. So changing gears, because
you want to play?
Yeah. Changing
Bingo
gears
card
because
for
this is supposed to be a non-tech after hours podcast here.
Yeah.
And I'm
Talk
the
about,
only one
talk about
with
anything and nothing all at the same time. So I saw your post there about rooms to go.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you make out at rooms to go? Because we just got our furniture from rooms to go.
So what I didn't tell everybody is that we also ended up buying a bedroom set.
Well, it works.
So that will be delivered on Saturday.
Whoa, that's quick.
Yeah, but we were there on Sunday.
Dude, I don't give a shit. That's quick. I have to wait a month.
Are you kidding? Really?
No, I'm not kidding. And they jacked it up. I was supposed to get
We're frequent flyers.
Rooms to go.
We're frequent flyers, so.
Okay, so I got to do my left hand so you can see me. I was supposed to do a couch, a chair, ottoman, a couple lamps, and an end table. I got ottoman, chair, couch, lamps. I got the end table top, but no legs. And I got a coffee table that I never ordered.
You sure that wasn't IKEA?
I'm sure. I'm sure. Absolutely. So I'm playing phone tag. I'm waiting to hear back from them to figure out where the heck the rest of my legs are.
Okay. Is it a rooms to go or rooms to go outlet?
Rooms to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
I have no legs.
Yeah,
It's half the real deal.
yeah.
So I've got stuff from Room
Hi,
to
Rachel.
Go. I never had a
Rachel.
problem.
Look, it's the
Hey,
other
how do you do
Miller.
that? First she's on Facebook, now she's in the picture.
What?
How do you do that? How do you do that?
What?
He said first you're on Facebook and now you're on screen.
Oh, I was just in the other room with the puppy.
She's like a.
She's
Video
real.
mom?
She's not his fake Canadian girlfriend.
Nope. Nope.
She heard you talking about furniture, so she come running. You know how much
Yeah.
furniture we bought for the new house?
Yes. We got 30 days till our new house will be done, and I have bought everything.
Yeah, because the our furniture existing won't work in the new house, so we had to have new
course not.
living room furniture and have a new bedroom suite.
See, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. We got a new floor and new paint, so might as well get all new furniture.
All right, and did you get furniture from Rooms to Go?
No.
What was that? Oh,
We got
not the
Ashley
Millers. Come
furniture.
on.
I will
Ashley,
look there.
Yeah.
Where else did I
Ashley's
get?
nice.
Oh, I got Grand. I've got Grand furniture, Ashley furniture. I've got all kinds waiting to be delivered. I got a refrigerator waiting to be delivered. All kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Laura.
Hey,
Look at
Laura.
all the wives are popping in. Rainey, where's Rainey? Go get Kim.
Yeah, she's not going to come.
New furniture, Rachel.
Do what?
I don't have any new furniture.
Come on, go buy
Do you
some.
have a-
Might go buy
do you-
her some furniture.
Mike,
Do you have a new
gotta fix
house?
This.
With legs, please.
Do you have a new house? You get Mike to get you a new house, then you can get your new furniture.
Are you guys excited, Jason and Rachel?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're definitely excited.
Our
So-
house sold in 12 hours once we put it on the market and $10,000 over asking price.
Jason just wants to go run speed tests.
That's all I want to do. I told her, I said, you can have the house. I want the internet. That's it.
Did you already tell him about the internet?
Oh, yeah. I was excited. Come on.
So you're still in your old house. You haven't moved out yet.
What's that?
No. April 30th, we moved. So.
And I've got him a closet to make a podcast room. So he'll be good then at the new house.
Wait. A closet to make a room?
Well, the closet's like, I don't know, 10 by 12 or something.
Whoa.
I mean, it's a big closet.
Sounds like
That's
a
actually
bedroom.
what I'm
to me.
in, too.
Maybe it's like 10 by 8, but I mean, it's a good size closet. So.
This was a closet too. When I'm in my office, it's like 12 by 6, but I made it my office.
Well, we have a whole room that's office, but she said I could like put up the soundproofing and all that stuff and make a podcast studio. I don't know if I'm going that far, but you know.
He probably is.
Well, I'm about to have an extra bedroom, and I wanted to make it a bar, but my wife said no.
No, she said no.
You have
So
a
what's it
bar
gonna
to your
be?
right there, or left, or whichever way it is.
Huh?
I said you have a bar built into your left or right. You just keep pulling the bourbon.
Well, I've got a bar in the living room, but I wanted to move it and expand it to the bedroom.
You mean a big bar is what you're saying?
Yeah.
He wants to be
Bigger.
lazy. He wants to be
All right,
lazy. On to get
listen,
up.
y'all can stop bragging, okay? Because I had to put up my blue sheets so you guys couldn't see my daughter's bedroom that I have to work out of.
It's working good though.
Well, yeah, thanks to StreamYard.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was your house. I'm like, oh, he's sitting in his living room. Nobody's
Yeah.
going
Okay.
through
Yeah.
it.
I'm glad to hear that, Rachel. Worked out perfectly then.
you give up your
Yeah.
own secret. So.
You've got a piano beside the fireplace.
Yeah, there's a grand piano too at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do
it
you
looks
play it
like
often?
I do. I do.
in your background and Mike's background look almost alike. Look at that.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
all
Adam's
fireplace,
still at
stone
work.
hearth.
I can't unclick this one. This one's no good.
I said I don't see Mike sitting in the background there. So.
I'm trying to kick out the tattoo parlor next door so we can get all that space over there, and that'll be where the podcast studio is.
I've been trying to kick them out for a while.
Ever since they moved in.
So you don't like the tattoo parlor?
They're not even a pet tattoo parlor now.
What are they?
So
They weren't there when I was at your place. I didn't remember a tattoo parlor.
here's the problem. So they tried to open up the tattoo parlor in the middle of COVID,
Oh.
and they were told no. So they ended up trying to make it a filming studio for all of the other tattoo parlors. But of course, none of them are open either. So now they're leasing out space to photographers, and now they want out of their lease, but their lease isn't up until June. So we're trying to, we're trying to take over that space.
It's quite the pivot. It's
Yeah.
quite the tattoo pivot.
Yep.
Next, we'll be having Marvin's podcast. containing
So, but it's big
tattoos.
enough. Yeah, we're going to be doing that, but it's big enough. I want to have it, turn it into a meeting room, podcast room. So next time we have a meetup, I'll have you guys down here. Have a big
Oh.
old, what?
Your wife can get the furniture for it at Rooms to Go.
I don't know if we want to meet up there because I think we want to meet a pool party at the pool.
Yes.
It's 1,000 feet that way. Come on, Rainey. It's
Are you
not that far.
chauffeuring?
A
chauffeuring us?
1,000. That's a lot of feet.
1,000 feet.
Did
All
you
right,
know how
sorry.
many
Donuts,
bourbons
he'll
Rainey's
find it.
had?
988. I'm sorry.
I guess it depends how big your feet are.
So if we all show up, Marvin, and we're having a really good time, and we decide let's all get tattoos, what's the tattoo story right now?
No,
Not
No.
happening.
at least not in South Florida. You have to head north a couple of hours before,
So get it on
because
the way
all
down.
of the Republican part of Florida is open.
Okay.
So it's just South Florida. The
Where
Democratic.
does the Republican part start? Orlando or
It starts basically north of Palm Beach.
All right, but it is possible we can all get matching tattoos.
Yes.
The Fellowship of the Ring movie cast did it, right?
they did?
They
What did they get?
yeah.
What did they get?
I don't know. They did it though. They all got something. It
Okay,
was-
everybody say hello to Kim. She's watching, and I asked if she saw the wives were coming on. So say hi to my Kim.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Kim.
Kim.
She should come on. She should come on.
She's at the house. It's 1,000
You
feet.
have to walk 1,000 feet.
Facebook, right?
All the way there.
There's a song like that. I would walk 1,000 feet. Is that what it is?
No,
Yeah.
1,000 miles. 1,000 miles.
we,
I'm not walking 1,000 miles.
yeah, we have our own version.
I might be 1,000 miles to Marvin, but I don't think it's quite that far. But I ain't walking it.
Keith, where are you at again? I forget where you're.
In Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
All right, now I got to see how far it is.
Don't go sleep.
See how long it takes me to walk it.
It's 1,000 feet. Everything's 1,000 feet today.
Oh, I got to use the right
2
keyboard.
weeks from everywhere.
Yeah.
How are things in Colorado, Mike?
Good. You know, businesses. I picked up two clients in the past month, unheard of. I'm so pleased.
That's good.
I'm so
That's great.
excited because what was happening was during COVID and quarantine, my business wasn't growing, but my existing clients needed more services. I bet that's kind of common with the IT. The work from home folks need more service. Now those companies need more services for their work from home staff, and that was kind of nice. But I was getting concerned, and then I picked up 2 clients in like a month. Yay!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're in
Yeah.
Castle Rock, is that right?
That's right. That is about partway. It's like halfway between Denver and Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I drove through there when I was up in Colorado Springs last time. I went to Denver today. I remember driving through there and seeing the Rock.
The Rock. There is a Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a big feature. Yes,
Is that different from Fraggle Rock?
or Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are a bunch of weird looking puppets, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On
It's
HBO years back, yeah. All right, so for those who haven't seen, Marvin did the math, and my Google is showing 975 miles at 319 hours to walk there. So I'll see you guys next year. I'll leave tonight.
Well, you'd be in the news. People who walk long distances usually on the news. This man's walking all the way to Fort Lauderdale.
And by the time I get there, I'll be in the news for a Florida man.
That's right.
Forrest Gump. I don't know.
So I want to ask, maybe I shouldn't ask, what's the story? Anybody going to the conference? If it's is it in September?
I believe so. I haven't bought yet. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant to go this year. Not COVID related. I'm just have a little concern about content. Because it seems I get a sense that from various posts here and there and comments that Jeff and Paco have made, it's going to be more vendor heavy than it has been in the past, and that gives me some pause.
Yeah, we've already bought our tickets, so we plan on going. But I mean, I've been to vendor-heavy conferences, but
What is it called? Is it called TechCon Unplugged?
TechCon
Yeah,
Unplugged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Site
and
not
I
available
understand
or
that,
something?
Jason. I don't really have a problem with the one that's vendor heavy. To that exact point, for a couple of years now, I've considered Spiceworks down in, I think, in Austin, which I know would be very vendor heavy. But I would go in there to Spiceworks with that expectation that it's going to be very vendor heavy. And TechCon Unplugged essentially was a spin-off from the Unconvention, right? So, which was the unconventional convention, because it wasn't like a convention. It didn't have all the vendors and so on. And with TechCon, there were not very many vendors at all. It was still very much us in the community, but they're a little more sprinkled in than what I remember from DC. And then, of course, Chicago didn't fare so well for me. And I didn't return after my first visit with that. And with what I'm kind of sensing now for this year with TechCon Unplugged, I'm just a little hesitant.
Have they made any more announcements since the
No.
beginning of the year? Because I haven't actually heard anything.
No, nothing on their website as far as schedule or content.
Just
It
gonna-
does say 2021 annual TechCon Unplugged with a nice skyline of downtown Chicago.
I thought you were going to say plus plus next to it.
No, you can't top the plus plus. Apparently, I mean they peaked at that. I mean,
It's all downhill.
so but the problem I have, and it says Chicago, Illinois. The problem I have, it's not Chicago, Illinois.
No.
And you're nowhere near the skyline that they're showing. I would be more inclined to go if it was in the area they have on the front page. I like that area of Chicago.
What
I
about
don't mind taking a train from the airport into the city.
what about the icon, Matt?
It's a red circle with some lines in it.
Are you good with it?
It doesn't offend me. It doesn't really do anything for me, but I don't have strong feelings about it.
As long as we don't have an hour and a half training about the icon.
I don't know what that icon is supposed to represent.
I was at the
PCB maybe.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? This
Yeah.
icon?
Yeah.
It's a red circle with like 4 lines coming in from the left, varying marks around. I'm not really sure what it means.
Kind of like mine, but mine's more colorful.
Yeah, yours is more colorful. Theirs is just really
No,
a red
you're-
circle.
well, I see yours
Well,
there,
it's
Adam.
circular.
Okay.
It's circular, but it's
Yeah.
all red with like lines that come in.
Let's see if
Kinda
I
like-
can, see if
like
I can
circuit-
share it
circuit
here.
board
Like a
line.
PCB. I think.
Yeah, like
Well,
a
I think
circuit
it looks
board,
like a
circuit board
PCB.
line. Yeah.
So
That
Yeah,
icon
yeah.
there.
right, that
Yeah,
is-
there you
and
go.
you can see the top part of the building.
It's
right
a
there.
silicon disc or something, right?
Sure.
I don't know.
I like the icon.
I'm happy. Well, they got the network cable coming off the unplugged, so
Really, you know what it should be? It should be a wall jack empty because it's unplugged, right? They got the plug from the unplugged, and it's
yeah.
just not plugged in. It's unplugged. You just want to finish it and plug it in.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
sure I'll be getting some grief now. I'll be getting emails and texts later tonight. Dude,
Well, they do.
I was
although
gonna say,
they might listen to the show. They may
This is
not
where
listen
you
at all.
say the views of the guest are not necessarily the views of Podnutz.
Oh goodness. Whose logo's next? Tonight on logo critique, right? So
That's true.
The only issue I have is my time this year. I mean, I haven't ruled it out, but I've got so much other travel I have to do. I haven't made a decision yet. So
I plan on going. I should probably get a ticket. I think the number of tickets is going to be restricted. I think there's still going to be COVID type of social distancing things enforced. That's outside of what TechCon Unplugged even has a choice about. So I think there's going to be restricted tickets for that. Keith, I'm with you. My first tech conference was an unconvention, which ruined it for me for all other future conventions because I thought this is just the way it is. It's, and going to like ASCII and the other ones and stuff. It's like, oh,
We got to sit through presentations of
this,
vendors.
yeah, I see how this really happens now. But this is what I did at the last TechCon Unplugged, which had vendors and stuff. It's like anything else. So when you're in a room full of people, you if you can make something of it, you do. And it's like every day I just sat at another table and just met different friends and stuff.
I'm sorry.
Are you reading John Reed's comment?
You should have it in the Republic.
Yes.
No restrictions.
No restrictions.
oh goodness. Yeah. I think their latest podcast, they said something like 50% of the tickets were sold, but I go a lot for the people that go there and to try and learn something like Mike was saying. And, I'm sure we'll get something out of it. And it's fun to hang out with people and have a good time. And then
that's why I go. I go for the people that are going there.
You go
Yeah.
for the donuts. Don't even.
exactly.
Trying to be nice, Marvin.
But giving credit where credit is due to Marvin, and not Marvin, excuse me, to Paco and Jeff, that despite being in Chicago, because I think all of us went to the first Chicago, or almost all of us, and it wasn't cheap. It was down, especially for me as a one-man show part-time, right? Working on my daughter's bedroom. Well, that was expensive.
Yeah, but that really wasn't an unconvention.
Well, no, I know. But our community.
Okay.
I should move over. It was really expensive. And yet Jeff and Paco have made this, financially speaking, very affordable for the Chicago market. I know, Matt's saying, the skyline, and it's not really in Chicago, it's out in Rosewood at the airport, but even still, and that's a very expensive area as a whole, and they managed still to pull off $200 a ticket and hotel for $125 or something to that effect. Compared to what we had on the first go around, I was paying $150, $200 or $200 plus, I think, for a room, and $200 or $300 for a ticket. They've done a good job in that sense.
Oh yeah, listen, what they've done for the first one and for this one, I have to assume that this one. All right, I'll shut up. Just trying to be nice. I mean, if you think about it, the value that you get at that conference versus any of the others, I don't care what the other ones are, you're not going to get a monetary value for that lower cost. Now, you may say that some of the others you get, tons more freebies because of all the vendors that are there, but you get pitched more, you get hassled more when you come home.
You're not giving them your real business card, are you?
Business card?
You gotta you gotta have fake cards with a trash email address that only works while you're at this conference. In case you win
like
something.
The bat number that I give you guys to call me on.
Yeah, you gotta have all that stuff only where as soon as you leave the conference, you cut it all off. You just put it in there so you can win the prize for the freebie.
I have so much to learn, Matt.
That's a good thing. That's a good idea.
I mean, that way you could drop your cards everywhere. You just drop them.
Yeah. Shared mailbox. And disposed when I'm done.
Yeah. And if you have a VoIP system, just assign a new number before you leave.
Yeah.
Delete it when you're back.
I mean, all they're gonna do is pull that card out and call your name if you won something. I mean, that's really, and they're gonna keep it for their purposes. But when they input it into their system, it's already not valid.
So you have a junk email. You have a direct to voicemail phone number.
Send them to Lenny. Because
at least for the first week after the conference, you got to make them feel like they have a chance, right? So at least send them the voicemail.
Spam my email spam please 123. I've had that for years.
If you want to be mean, you could actually put a real phone number. Just put someone else's phone number.
Put your competitor's phone number. Just look up MD Systems. We'll put on all our numbers on the car.
So the short answer is that 2 people here have committed to going and have said yes. Everybody else is on the fence.
Yeah, I'll kind of play it by ear, see how it goes. I would like to go. Just kind of depends on what the circumstances are.
Yeah, see, that's right. It's September 17th and 19th. I'm already traveling mid-August for something.
I just booked the hotel for my high school reunion that I'm driving to. And the wife was making comments about not being sure how we're going to be at the reunion with social distancing and stuff. So,
are there people still social distancing?
I just had a reunion from my high school. And I social distanced really good. I mean, they were like miles away from me.
Yeah. I am yet to go to one of my reunions.
Oh.
For me, the folks I went to high school with, the ones I'm still friends with. I still stay in touch with. And those, they know how to get a hold of me. And everyone else I'm not interested in.
I thought they fixed that.
Same for me.
Haven't been.
Well, I have to be the MC and a whole bunch of other things for it.
Is it far you have to go?
It's 2 hours.
That's not bad.
But
mine was like 3 minutes away and I didn't go.
Yeah, sounds like you. That's like you. Oh, Godzilla versus Ramadan's on. I can't.
What did you say?
Oh gosh.
Godzilla versus what? Did I hear you right?
I don't know. It didn't make sense, Matt.
Ramadan, isn't that one of them?
Okay, let's go.
So Godzilla was fasting for a while. Is that what he was doing?
I think it might be time to move on.
Ramadan 2021. Come on.
I went
here's
to
the
one
thing.
reunion.
So we're
I
gonna.
think it was a 20-year, and that was good because a lot of people come into it.
Yeah.
But
We're
it's
gonna
just the
have a lot.
reunions that are weird numbers. You get like 12 people showing up. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, we're gonna have like 300. But here's the thing: it's just a few minutes from my mom, but we can't stay with my mom because
She won't let you.
she won't let us because of COVID. So we had to book a hotel. So here's the funny thing.
Say, Mom, it's okay. I was only near 300 people before I came
That's
here.
right. So we go to book the hotel, and supposedly the person coordinating the reunion worked up this, great deal for us to use the hotel code.
Is there free parking? Sorry.
So I call, and they're telling me, I looked it up on my Hilton app to find out, okay, and I want to see how much less it'll be. So on the Hilton app, the room that we wanted was $379. So I call up, give them the code, and she's like, "Oh, and are you a Hilton Rewards?" I said, "Yes, I am." She goes, "Okay, we'll apply that too." Okay, so your rate is $419.
The standard Hilton member upcharge.
I said, "What?"
Well, that's okay. You know what? This is Florida. Florida likes to have their services and extra fees, and
We have a 17% hotel tax.
yeah. And then apparently you can't even take your own bags into your room because that's something else.
Well, that was just the diplomat. And that was because they saw Matt Money Rainey coming up.
Hey, I still am aggravated by that place. I still am aggravated by it. It was ridiculous. Oh, you can't use our carts. Only authorized bellhops can operate the cart. Like, okay, whatever.
You're like, I don't got that kind of schooling.
Like, I can push a cart. They have them at every La Quinta and available. It doesn't take any special training.
Sound a little bitter there, Matt.
I am very bitter. And I said, okay, fine. If we let you bring the bags up, when will I get my bag? Because we were actually got in town, and I was going to Marvin's house for dinner. And they're like, "Oh, well, we can get them up to you in an hour and a half." I'm like, "An hour and a half? Are you insane? I can carry my bags up with me right now." Well, we're backed up. Yeah, because you won't let anybody use the carts. So, yeah, I didn't like any of it. No matter what you do, they want a tip. Everything. And I can do things myself. I'm not at the age yet where I can't carry my bags.
I'm reading through here on the comments, and I saw Rachel chimed in and said we should have an annual weekend party at Marv's. And I second that. It should just be a weekend-long block party in Marvin's backyard.
Should have deleted that comment.
Yeah, if I'm going to go up there, I have to stay more than a day.
Well, yeah, because it's going to take me 300 some odd hours to walk there.
Hey, we got new furniture coming in, so you got a place to sleep.
I'll be tired after walking 300 hours.
I mean, if I drive, that's like, what, 14, 15 hours? That's what it took me last time.
What?
To
What's
drive?
14, 15 hours?
Huh? That's how long it takes me to drive from
Oh, yeah.
Marvin's to my house. That's quite a ways.
Yeah, but you had stops along the way.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so it took 2 days.
See? 2 days to drive 14 hours.
Did I stop or did I come all the No, we did come all the way home when we left your place. Yeah, we did. We didn't stop that
You
night.
went straight through?
Yeah.
You took 3 days to get here is what happened.
We took 2 full days because we went to Key West. We drove to Key West, which is like 17 and a half hours. So, yeah.
That's right. You drove down the Florida man side of the state.
Yeah, that was a drive. And a big full-size truck in Key West is out of place. With everybody driving like little mini cars.
Yeah, mini cars and scooters. That's what you're supposed to have.
Yeah. Yeah. And a big full-size truck. I took most of the road going down there. I do like Key West, though. I love Key West. Very nice. But see, I'll never go back. I never.
Why?
Because my wife Kim doesn't like it.
Oh, well.
She didn't like Key West?
No.
What didn't she like about it?
Doesn't like the beaches. She likes the white sand beaches of like Destin and Orange Beach, that kind of stuff.
See, yeah, you took her to the wrong beaches first. You're supposed to start on the East Coast and then work your way back.
So we'll never go back.
So you'll end up in Sanibel Island next time.
Well, that's what I said. I said we go to Sanibel Island for a few days. Then you can take the boat ride from there into Key West and not drive it. Mm-hmm. Stay there for a few days, take the ferry back. That's what I suggested as well. So that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But maybe. But my older daughter's moving in a few weeks. So my vacation at least once a year will be up there. She's moving to Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah? Where's she going to?
Providence.
Providence? Yeah. Huh. For school?
Work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the area I'm from originally.
Oh, is it nice? Is it safe?
Well, I grew up about a half hour east of Providence.
Okay.
But yeah, we used to. I used to go to Providence on the regular. In my younger days, I'd go there to go to the clubs and stuff. And later on, Providence introduced, maybe almost 20 years now, something called the water fires. And on the little canal they have going through the center of the city in the summertime, they have concrete pylons in the middle of this kind of canal with a little turnaround basin. And on the concrete pylons, they have metal baskets, throw a bunch of wood in there, and they just burn it all night. Maybe, half mile long on the canal. Different vendors and street performers and, food vendors, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Well, she'll like that. So I plan on going up there every year. So, I'll be visiting her. So that's the thing. Going to TechCon, I'm already going to other things. So adding TechCon is another trip, which now I have to go back to Disney World because my daughter made her high school dance team and they have competitions up there. So I'll be traveling more for competitions and nationals. And it's just
you don't have to go to Alexandria because I don't think we're doing the reunion.
No, you were going to come down to my house.
There's no way. I have to entertain, the family.
No, you said you were going to stay a day longer. But you're not doing that?
I didn't say that. Maybe the two Kims talked about that. I didn't say that. I would never say that.
Yeah. You were supposed to come down here. So y'all are eventually going to have some kind of reunion.
Yes, eventually, yes.
Yeah. I don't have a pool.
Oh, well, then there's no way I'm coming to your place.
Just give me about 30 minutes to blow it up before you get here.
Better have my donuts. That's all I'm saying.
There's no good donuts in Louisiana. I'm sorry. It's just, there's not.
Listen, you have to leave your state for donuts, for bourbon, for pizza.
Yeah, definitely bourbon. Definitely.
The only thing you guys have good is what? Crawfish? Do you eat that?
I eat crawfish.
Okay.
We have good food. It's just no good donuts. And
because we have
look, I tell you what, Florida's not that great for bourbon either. So I can buy bourbon.
To be.
We don't make it here.
We never claim to be. Although you took our bourbon that we had.
That was amaretto.
Okay, what's the difference?
Amaretto and bourbon?
Yeah, I don't know.
Boy, that's different. Different kind of spirits completely.
Yeah.
So like Coke and Pepsi? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's like Coke and milk. Coke and milk. Yeah. So but I'm glad we don't have good donuts here because I'd have a big problem if we had good donuts here. It's a treat when I go travel. And that's an issue with TechCon. At least when it was in downtown Chicago, you could walk to some good donut places. Am I supposed to get an airport donut?
DoorDash, I guess.
We're not animals. We're not going to have airport donuts at TechCon.
So Donuts would entice me more. I just like downtown Chicago. I love it. I still haven't ruled it out. If everybody's going, that's more incentive for me to go.
Well, we need to find out. Maybe I'll send an email to Jeff and Paco and ask them to give us the update, because that's the only thing that I haven't heard anything. So my thoughts were, if they don't say something soon, it may not happen. That's where I was, because right now should be the time that they're, finishing selling out tickets, making sure everybody has accommodations, telling us who the vendors are, speakers, presentations.
Well, he said on his last show that they have an update this week.
Oh, well,
and he did say, I know I've been saying that every week. He said, but this week we will.
Okay.
But my issue is I don't care about his update. I care about, like us. What are our updates? Who's going to be there? That's more what I care about.
Well, yeah. I'll give you my update once I get their update.
What's the update on that?
Well, I do plan on going.
September 17th to the 19th.
Super nice hotel, though. It's the Loft. So my wife is excited about that.
Is it
the hotel?
A Loft?
Yeah, A Loft.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
A Loft? A Loft? I don't know.
No, it's A Loft. You're right.
A Loft? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's excited about that hotel?
It's just more modern looking.
Oh, yes, it is. It's very, very almost artsy like.
Yeah, and if you see our houses, there's no brown in the house at all. There's no anything. It's modern, blacks, whites, grays, all kinds of stuff like that. Nothing against anybody that has that. Just saying that's just the way we are. So she likes modern.
Are you in the new house, Jason? Is that what we see?
No, this is the guest room in our old house.
Okay.
We close on April 30th, so we'll be moving April 30th, and I'll have my own office at that
point. Is that a big multifunction printer? Is that the guest multifunction printer?
Yeah, this is my. Yeah.
All their scanning needs and.
Here at Hotel Miller, we provide a business center.
Nice.
No, this is where my gaming computer is, where I game with my kids, and then of
course,
I
see.
work
You
from
got time
home.
for gaming, but not to watch Star Trek. Okay, I see.
I mean, if it's between like killing people with my kids and watching Star Trek, I have to go with my kids. Yeah.
See, I don't play games at all. I don't play any games. I don't play them games, so I have time to watch Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe you should play some games.
I don't. Games aggravate me. They seem more aggravating than fun.
Is that because the computer beats you?
Sometimes. No, it's because it's not as responsive as my brain. So, like, if I say do something, and the controls don't transfer that to the game, it's obviously the game's fault.
Well, no, wait a minute. Are you actually speaking to the controller? Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I tell you what, the last games I played are like Donkey Kong on the Wii and Mario Kart, which I like, but I don't.
Defender,
I don't want to have to read like an 18-page manual to know all the controls. I like to point, shoot, and click. That's pretty like Duke Nukem.
You want the new AI virtual reality is what you want, right?
I don't know if I want.
No, I don't know. Marvin, what I'm hearing is he wants the old Atari 2600 with one joystick with one button.
That's good. I have one of those actually.
I do too.
Those are nice.
Games for it. Yeah, I have it upstairs in the attic.
Combat. I got the old Combat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't have any way to connect it, or I haven't tried. Let me rephrase that. I haven't tried.
Nothing's funner than when you get somebody pinned in a corner in combat and you just keep shooting them and they can't move and they get all aggravated. That's the best.
Until it's happening to you.
Yeah, right.
All right, Jason, what are you going to say about Atari?
No, it's a regular Nintendo right there. So.
Oh.
It's Lego version. So it's assembled by my kids, but retro looking Lego. But that's more Matt Speed, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers,
Donkey Kong
buttons.
So since it came up, how the heck would I connect my Atari 2600 to a TV? Because if you remember, you used to connect those to the two little screws to the antenna. So I guess I'd have to like splice open a coax cable that I connect my antenna to now.
So the new ones, it's not a 2600, but they sell the new ones, which is the exact same games and a new console with HDMI connections.
Yeah, they call them the classic editions or whatever.
Yeah, right. But it plays the exact same.
Yeah, but it's not my 2600.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
You get on Amazon.
Go
use
to a garage sale and find an old TV, and you can connect to have the true experience.
A little 13-inch black and white.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get it at the garage sale for like $1.
One of my techs the other day went and bought a 32-inch flat screen Sony TV. When I say flat screen, I mean it's flat tube
Yeah.
TV. So he can have all his old classic game systems like hooked up, rock and rolling. So, but yeah, you go on Amazon, use Marvin's Podnutz link, and they make little converters that convert the old style plugs into HDMI and stuff.
Okay, well there we go. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what plug that is on yours. If it's just
I have no
coax.
idea. I have no idea what that could possibly be called.
Atari
Atari
2600.
2600 to HDMI.
Oh, look, they have power supply, games, controller, console, TV adapter. Here we go.
There you go.
Let's see. Find that and convert it to a link.
There's a YouTube connect our Atari 2600 to 4K TV.
Oh, look, and it's sponsored by Amazon. And cable 2-pack F-type male plug to RCAF video TV cable adapter for. Here, let me do this. Get link.
Yeah, just send me a link or something.
But put it in the private chat first, and you tell me
Okay.
if that's right. And if it is, then I'll put it out to the public chat.
Yeah, we did the same thing with our Wii. It takes the old component, the 3 yellow red
No.
spot. So or
No.
yellow, blue, whatever it is. We did that with our Wii to HDMI. So
No, that's not going to work.
No, because the way what I remember, let me put you back on my screen here. What I remember was it was a little black box, and it connected to the Atari, which I think was RCA, if I remember correctly. And the other side was just the two spade connectors. I guess they were spades. To two screws for the old-fashioned rabbit ear antennas.
Okay.
So I need to somehow convert those two rabbit ear antennas back into.
Is it this?
Yeah.
So the game switch box is what you're talking about.
Well, right.
Oh,
I need to convert that over to HDMI or something.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
I'm sure somebody will find it.
well, that was just the old was it VHF
Yeah.
connection for channel 3 or 4.
Yep, you got it. And you could actually
So-
choose. I think it was 2 or 3, but yeah.
All right. So for people watching now or later, if you know what Keith is looking for, you send it to me and
That
I'll
would be
update the
freaking
link.
awesome.
This is a common problem. I'm sure everyone has it.
Somebody will know.
Hey, do you still have all the games?
Oh yes.
Did you have? I'm looking at the games now, like on Google. I remember Star Raiders was like my favorite game.
Star Rated. That doesn't ring a bell.
But I played a bunch. I never had it. My friends had this Atari 2600.
But no, I probably have a good 50 games or so
Yeah.
upstairs. I even had the little paddles.
Do you have River Raid?
Oh yes.
I love
yeah.
River
And,
Raid.
and it was funny with Activision. If you hit a certain score on a varied based upon game, you could take a actual picture of your screen, send it to Activision, and they would send you a patch for that game. And I actually had a whole sweatshirt full of patches my mother sewed on for me.
Like a Boy Scout patch?
Oh no, well they were bigger though.
Do you still have that? That'd be cool.
No, I don't. I don't have that. I wish I did. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Just for the patches.
Yeah.
Barnstormers. Do you have Barnstormers?
Yep.
See, that's good. Those are good games. All these games now they're so complicated.
And when you got a score on Atari, you worked for it. There was no pause. There was no save for later and continue. It's time for dinner. Nope, can't come. I gotta keep
when you're playing asteroids and you're like a good game, you can't. Yeah, you can't. It's endurance. It's endurance. You gotta keep going. Yeah.
And the decathlon game was the epitome of endurance when you just sit there and move the joystick back and forth.
Oh my God, yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, especially for the decathlon 10 events, right? So the last one is like the marathon, 26 miles. You're doing this for just moving the joystick back and forth.
So here's something on Etsy. that I'm sure isn't going to be what you want, but it says that it is the. It says that it's
that could
the
work. Okay,
Atari
listen,
2600 TV switch adapter connector modern hookup.
Yeah. Okay. Marvin. Jason has something.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he has something I think will work.
I'm posting the chat.
Good job, Jason.
See, I told you somebody would find it.
At least in terms of connections, that'll work. I'm not sure in terms of conveying the signal, if there might be too much signal loss, but either way, for $6, I could try that.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose any of that video quality of those games. I mean, you need all of it. There's not much there.
Oh, well, I can't imagine what it's going to look like on like a 50 or 60-inch screen. You know, that what?
Look terrible.
1 pixel here, 1 pixel
8-bit
here.
resolution.
Okay, so I'm going to put this link in the chat. So if you go buy it, use my link and my 5 cents.
Yeah, I was going to say you get a couple pennies for it.
Yeah.
Another reason I don't play games is such a time suck. You start playing a game, and before you know it, 3 or 4 hours later.
Yeah, but it's not like that with Atari. Game ends in like 2 minutes.
Star Wars. Kind of like a Star Wars movie, right?
But at least you do it once and it's over. You don't watch it every night.
I have to, because I fell asleep halfway through. So I just go back and watch what I missed.
Well, see, you didn't need to watch any of that stuff because most of that stuff, you just need to watch the original trilogy and The Mandalorian.
Especially the last one, the let's see, Rogue, the Last Jedi, and what was the one after that? One where Luke dies.
Yeah, but you don't need to watch any of that. That's all garbage. Just,
Okay.
just watch The Mandalorian. What's happening?
Oh,
You're talking about the last Jedi?
the rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
Watched that one a couple of weeks ago.
I saw a few episodes of that Mandalorian. I liked it.
Mandalorian is good.
that was addicting. Yeah, I like that.
So Mandalorian, people were saying was good. Picard, they were
But
saying
I think
was good.
Mandalorian's only on Disney, right?
Disney Plus, that's
Disney
right.
Plus.
Picard's only on Paramount Plus. But the second season of Picard should come out soon, I think. Discovery you have to watch. Discovery's really good too. That's pretty much it. The last Star Trek movies were terrible.
Yes, it was.
I'm so upset that I had to watch
But
it.
every third Star Trek movie stinks.
Every third.
It's kind of like Windows, right? Every other version sucks and every other version's pretty good.
Well, the last Star Trek movie was the worst Star Trek of all by far.
Every odd Star Trek stinks. The first one was the second one was great. Third one was Fourth one was universally accepted. The fifth one they should have never made.
No, they should. No, that one is better than the last one they made. Voyage Home?
The Voyage Home was
Whale?
4. Yeah, that's the one everybody loves.
Which one should have been made?
5
you're
is
saying?
the one you're saying was 5. It's what was it? The Last Frontier.
Oh, okay,
You know?
yeah, with the God, are you God?
What does God do with the starship?
Starship, yeah. But that was still better than that last one they came out with.
Nemesis.
No,
it
he's
wasn't
talking about-
Nemesis. It was
Oh,
like
no, you're talking
Beyond,
about the
Star
modern-
Trek Beyond or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond with the albino chick
It was Beyond
motor-
stupid. Beyond
on the
stupid.
motorcycle.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of why.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
even
talking
wanna
about the
think
new
about it.
generation Star Trek
Don't-
movies.
it was so bad. I was so looking forward to it, and it was probably the worst. It was. I was when I left. I was like upset. I was like, you just ruined all of Star Trek. And they could have done so much, right? They could have done so much with that movie as a different story. Because Vulcan is destroyed. You got all that stuff going on, and they just ignore it.
They were on the right track with the first 2 remakes.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. And
Catch
then they
that,
got
the right track. You didn't-
Simon Pegg wrote that story, and
I got it.
It's terrible.
Do I get any street cred for watching the original Star Trek TV series?
That's a good series.
It was.
Although you'll find in the original Star Trek series, they're hardly ever in space.
Right.
Right. They're usually on some recreation of Earth at some time. Or
The one with Harry, the original Harry Mudd was on.
Earth. Huh?
The original Harry Mudd was on the other night.
Yeah, so that's good, but it's funny how much they were on Earth or Earth-like planets.
Yeah. Oh, the fight music.
Tribbles. What are you talking about? Tribble. Everybody loved the Tribble.
No, I grew up watching the start, and actually it was probably repeats even then. But I loved that first series when Spock and Kirk would fight, and they always had their shirts off. It was like that was intense when you're a little kid.
The best fight was when they were at the Renaissance Fair or whatever that was. When they were fighting with the joist things.
So if you watch the original series, who knows who only had 4 fingers on his right hand? Anybody?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm not a Trekkie.
Mike?
I just watched it.
So did you know originally, or did you find out later?
I found out later, and when I found out in the series or whatever the episode was that talked about it, they said they deliberately would. It was filmed in such a way you would never see it.
You would never see his right hand. You only saw his right hand once when he was carrying a bunch of tribbles.
Oh.
But they featured it prominently in one of the Next Generation, was it? Or it was a movie, I think. But yeah. So Scotty only had 4 fingers on his right hand.
Yeah.
He lost it when he was in the military is when he lost it. And so when they did shots, they purposely would keep his right hand out of the shot. So if you ever watch the original series and you see Scotty, notice that you don't see his right hand. It's out of the shot.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting Star Trek fun fact.
Yeah. I mean, when you see it, you're like, oh, how did I miss that? How did I miss it? But yeah. If I'd have seen a Star Trek convention, hey, Scotty, give me 4.
Give me 4.
High 4.
You ever watch on the Netflix the toys that made us?
Yeah.
They have a Star Trek one that's pretty cool. It gives you a lot of kind of backstory and stuff about the toys being made, how the movie kind of played into it, and how they almost failed like 500 times.
It is an interesting series that Netflix did with that.
Yeah, the toys that made us pretty cool. All kinds of different stuff, but yeah, that Star Trek was kind of stuck out to me. So,
all right, folks. Well, we're gonna have to start calling this because we lost like 15 listeners when we started talking Star Trek.
Wait, we had
now
listeners?
let's talk about the other good stuff. No.
Yeah.
How can you tell? You can see how many people are watching?
Yeah, I can see how many people are watching live. And plus, I'm getting a text from the contractor. Apparently, there's $6,000 I need to pay, and I have to go find out why.
Uh-oh. It's been more than a few hours since you showed up with the credit card.
Oh, God.
So,
and I was going to say, Marvin, I only signed up for 30 minutes, and I'm at an hour and 45, so
you're putting overtime. I'm surprised she's not here. You said you would do this.
Well, after all, it is 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to end off the show, folks.
You got time for a few minutes tonight.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And guys, we'll see you on the other side here.
All right, guys, have a good night.